Tesla just had one of the biggest news that hit the newswire a few days ago, and yet nobody's talking about it. This is actually shocking. I didn't find out about it until today when I looked at Electric. They featured it, but I guess Financial Times reported it last week, and absolute silence. I'm kind of in shock. I'll tell you what it's about, and I'll tell you what effect it's going to make on Tesla in general, and hopefully Tesla stock. All of this is coming up next. Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric! Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right. So let's talk about it. Remember, how for the last year, everyone was really concerned, especially Wall Street, how Tesla's running out of money, how they're not going to be able to be profitable in Q1 and Q2, and they have to pay it off, and which they did, about $1 billion in debt, and they're going down, and finally when Elon Musk said, okay, we're going to raise capital, and they're raising over $2 billion, everyone was like, okay, thank God they're going to get this money, they're going to be okay. Right? But you know what? They're actually going to be making $2 billion out of thin air. No investors, no nothing. They're literally going to make $2 billion by the end of 2021 out of thin air, and nobody said a word. So let me tell you how they're going to be making this money, because so this story was reported about a couple of weeks ago, right? So the story was that FCA, right, Fiat Chrysler, automotive, this is obviously the one of the largest automotive companies there. There are European regulations and American regulations where you need to produce so many electric cars, and they are not doing that. But what's allowed is that you can buy credits from other manufacturers who have extras, and of course nobody has more extras than Tesla because they only produce electric cars. Now, they made a lot of money from especially ZEV credits and green credits that were selling in California, in the United States a few years ago, to actually make a big difference. And I think one of the quarters where they were profitable, it was because of that. But then it kind of subsided until recently. In a couple of weeks, it was announced that FCA is going to buy some credits from Tesla, maybe worth about $100-200 million, and that was a big deal. I mean, that's cash. That's a lot of times the difference between being profitable and non-profitable. And nobody really made that big of a deal. But come to find out, it's not going to be 100, 200, or even 300 million. I'll tell you what the amount is going to be and why I think this is massive. And I'll tell you how this affects, or I should say not affect, the stock, which kind of blows my mind. Before that, a quick reminder that this video and this channel is sponsored by Byton, the company that will never produce gas cars. They are producing this all-electric SUV coming to the US and Canada, of course, but also Europe at the end of next year. Over 50,000 reservations have been made, so you guys should get in line if you haven't. It's free to do so. It takes about 60 seconds, so why in the hell not? It's a great car, starts only at $45,000, over 300-mile range. Byton.com, or the link is in the description of this video, so I'll see you in line for that car. All right, so $2 billion. $2 billion is what Tesla is going to collect from Fiat Chrysler. Mainly next year, really. I think 1.6 or 1.7 is going to be collected by the end of next year, and then the rest is going to be collected by 2021, and in 2022 I believe they're saying they're going to start making enough of their own electric cars to kind of not having to do that. Now, on one hand, it's great. Obviously, this is yet another company that's being pushed by the government, not Tesla, not the market, by the governments and regulations to start making electric cars. On another hand, I kind of think it's kind of unfair. Not unfair. It kind of defeats the purpose of this whole thing, right? The point is not to, leverage Tesla and other manufacturers, which is good. Obviously, Tesla deserves this money because they've been making these cars against pretty much everyone's wishes, definitely FCA's wishes, right? Legacy manufacturers, and now they're getting paid for that, and that's great. That's good for Tesla, good for any really manufacturer who can benefit from this. But at the same time, I thought the whole point is for, push the FCA and other legacy manufacturers forward by making them actually make the cars, not just spend the money. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that the money exchanging hands from the gas-making cars to electric car manufacturers. But I think the whole point, there should be a limit. Whereas, okay, they can buy some, maybe for the first year or two or three. But after that, they really need to be required to start making these cars, not just making it look like they're making these cars, right? So I'm kind of torn. here and there. But really, the biggest story for me is that how in the world no one's talking about it. Tesla, the big news about this $2 billion being raised, for many months or maybe even a year, it makes it such a big difference for the Wall Street. The entire Gigafactory in China is going to probably cost a little bit more than that, but pretty much around $2 billion. And Tesla has to raise money here. Tesla had to get some investors and loans in China, but here they're getting it out of thin air, and nobody says anything. It literally blows my mind. I don't understand how everybody. And by the way, here's Tesla stock. And this month. So this was reported around May 3rd. So check it out. Nothing happened on May 3rd. Like literally nothing happened on May 3rd. I mean, I would have assumed something like that. Company announcing like we're gonna make $2 billion extra in the next couple of years, in addition to everything else, would have blown the stock out of the water, right? And Elon would be bragging about it. Every single Tesla fanboy would be bragging about it. Where are these people? I'm more excited than even I think Elon Musk about it. I think this is a big deal. Okay, so maybe you guys can explain to me why I'm missing a point here. But as far as I'm concerned, this is amazing news for everybody, especially for Tesla. And I'm glad that Fiat Chrysler is going to be pushed into making electric cars. Otherwise, they're going to literally just start going closer to at some point bankruptcy, because they're just not going to be profitable if they're going to continue basically financing another manufacturer. I think that's what's happening. But let me know if I'm missing here something, right? Because I don't know. My mind is blown. Don't forget to blow my mind again by joining my VIP list. Exclusive stories every week, deals and so forth. It's free. e4electric.com/VIP. Of course, don't forget to watch my videos live on patreon.com/e4electric while supporting my independent channel. So thank you to all of my patrons for that. Looking forward to your comments. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.